Now I'd like to demonstrate with Elena how we incorporate some of these techniques from energy kinesiology. So Elena, you have some pain in your body?
Yes, I have lower back pain.
Okay. What would you say that is on a scale of 1 to 10?
It's about 5 because it's constant and it gets worse when I sit down. So when I sit down for a prolonged period of time, maybe it's like 7.
So is it
Between 5 and 7 on a regular day basis.
Okay, and describe the qualities of the pain.
It's like nagging, sharp, but not excruciating, but it's always there. It's not pleasant. Like, like you always have the pain in your lower back and you have to move and stretch.
Yeah, I've got it. I've had those, so I understand. Yeah. And how long have you had that?
Since my 20s.
Wow.
I had a car accident.
And has it been consistent since then, or has it kind of come and go?
It's better, much better. It's, but sometimes it comes and goes. And the last few days, it became stronger.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have her touch the area of pain, we call that circuit locating, and see if a strong muscle goes weak. So before we touch that, I establish an indicator muscle, just pushing down like this, ready and hold. Okay, and that feels strong, correct? Now what I'd like you to do is touch the area of pain, and while you're touching that, I'm going to test again, and you see how it goes weak? Now, we could have her continue touching the pain, but to make it simpler, we're going to do what we call putting that in circuit. So your body's going to remember that that's the area we're touching. And the way we do that is she's going to take her legs first together with your feet, and then you're going to step out 18 inches to the side as I push again. Okay, great. Now you can take your hand away, and now because she's got that in circuit, we now have the body remembering, oh, we've got energy blockage in the lower back, kind of in the hip area here.
Yeah.
So now, what I can do, and we teach you how to do this in the course, first we discern what is the nature of, or source of the pain in terms of what field do we need to clear. When I touch like this, if it would go strong, it means the structural level is what we need to clear. So hold as I push, it did not change. Now I touch the thumb to the middle finger and see what happens. Hold. Did not change. That would have indicated we had nutritional factors to do. This finger, when I touch the thumb, hold as I push, would indicate if it would have gone strong that emotional and psychological factors were needed to clear it. And now I touch the little finger and see what happens, and it goes strong. So that is the realm that we cover in our course with energy kinesiology. So now I can do a verbal menu and ask her body what it would like to have balanced. So balancing the meridian system. Look at that, it went strong. See again, if I don't say anything, hold. Balancing the meridian system. Her body says, oh yeah, I want that. Now I could say balancing the chakras, hold. It didn't change. So had it, we would have checked into the chakras. Now I can say balancing the auric field around the body. Oh, and it says I like that too. So we got 2 of the factors. Now I'll ask balancing the Tibetan energy flows, figure 8 energy flows, no. So those are things we cover in the course. Now what I show you then is how to do these protocols to discern which way we have to go, what's out of balance, and how to correct it. So I'll show you some simple versions. We do much more in depth, but to keep it simple, we're going to now ask her body, 2 things helped. I'll ask, does her body want the first one, the meridians? Now watch what happens. So I say meridians, balancing with meridians. It says yes. Now we have what's called the priority mode, where I touch the middle finger to the crease in the thumb, and I say meridians again and see if it changes. So balancing meridians, and it changed. Again, balancing meridians without the priority mode says yes, and balancing meridians, it changed. So the change means that's a priority. It's what the body wants first. See, the body wants to be fixed in a certain sequence. And other things could be compensations that might be out, but the priority says fix me first. So we know we need meridians. Now I could also check, because sometimes you can have more than one priority, but when I go to auric fields, it's strong. When I touch here and say auric fields, it didn't change. So now I'm establishing what the priority is. So we show you how to go through these protocols to figure out what's first to fix, what's next. Okay, so now we're going to go to find out there's priority points on the body that, again, we look for change. And whenever it changes, in this case from weak to strong, it says that's where we need to go. So she has a weak test here, and hold again, and I touch here, and did you notice it changed?
Yeah.
That is indicating the wood element. There's something in the wood element we need to fix. Now there's 2 meridians, and you learn all these meridians and all the 5 elements and the theories behind it. I say the meridians, and that would be gallbladder, did not change, liver, changed. So now we know liver meridian is under energy, and that is affecting your pain. Wow. So we now know that circuit of the liver meridian happens to be deficient, so we know we need to tonify that. Now I can go over and check other meridians. So I'm touching here for the fire element, not deficient in the fire element. There's 4 meridians there. Now I touch back here at a specific spot and see that didn't change. That would have been the earth element. Now back here I'm on the metal element point, did not change. And now the water element, and did not change. There's also central up here and governing. So none of those meridians change, but I did notice that the liver did. Mm-hmm. Now what we can do is you can take your body out of circuit, bring the feet back together. So now the body is no longer remembering that we're examining specifically the low back, and I can show that by testing here and see how it's now strong. Mm-hmm. There are muscles for each of the meridians that indicate if that meridian is under energy, where they will test weak. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be pushing out like this, and you hold. This is testing the pectoralis major sternal muscle. And ready and hold as I pull. And notice how that's going weak. Mm-hmm. So that is a muscle related to the liver meridian. So it's saying, I don't have enough energy. Now, I'll check this one, and ready and hold. And notice how that one's strong. So we know that the under energy is here in that muscle related to the liver meridian. Now, I'll look and see where the over energy is, and we have shortcuts for you to find that. And we do this. We touch on the navel, and just above it, I tug up, and that will tell me if the fire element is over. So hold as I push. Oh, and notice that went weak. So again, strong muscle. Let me pull to the point about 130, and that's strong. That would have been the earth element. Now I'm pulling down here to metal, and over here to water, up to here to wood. So this is where now over energy lies. So we show you how to discern this, and then when I again point up like this and it goes weak, I can go through then each of the meridians in the fire element, and I'll say heart, did not change. Small intestine, did not change. Triple warmer, did not change. Circulation sex, it changed. So when it changes, whether it's strong to weak or weak to strong, it's indicating that's where we need to look. So again, we give you all these protocols in the course and how to think and how all the principles that are related to the Chinese medicine, the chakras, and the auric fields, so you have a working knowledge of how to do all this. Now, let's find an alarm point related to the circulation sex meridian, just to confirm it. So again, I have a strong muscle here, and I'm going to touch right here. It's actually CV17, and hold again. See how that goes weak? Now, another interesting thing is I can discern which, since it's a midline, a meridian where the alarm point is, I don't know if it's the right side that has over energy, over here, or the left side. But here's how I can tell. Now, as she's got a weak muscle, take your eyes and look to the left. Do you see it changed? Mm-hmm. That means it's over energy on the left. Now, eyes to the right. And hold. It didn't change. So that's indicating she has over energy in the circulation sex meridian, which is fire element, on the left, and the liver is deficient or under energy on the left. See, when the meridians are in balance, then symptoms go away naturally. Mm-hmm. So in your case, you have over energy in the circulation sex meridian, also known as pericardium in Chinese medicine, and under energy in liver. So now I'm going to go find a point on the liver meridian, and it will also what we call circuit locate, which means when I touch it, it will test weak. So let's find the fire point, which I happen to know, and you learn this in the course where these points are, and I'm going to check to see if the fire point shows indicator muscle change. That happens to be liver 2. So I'm going to go to the point on her meridian for liver 2 and test a strong muscle. Now I'm touching liver 2 and hold, and it switches off. Now I've identified that liver 2 will be a point that needs work. And here's the thing to know. Whenever you touch an acupressure point that needs work, in other words, it's needing stimulation, a strong muscle will switch off. So therefore, just as an example, I could touch right here on the liver meridian. So liver 14 is fine, back here to liver 13, fine, and I could just even go right along the liver meridian, and as I'm touching, everything's fine, but when I get down to liver 2, that's where it switches off. And we show you how to basically balance every point on a meridian to go even more depth. But we've identified there's one point that will switch on the liver meridian. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this muscle again and show how it goes weak, and then you can step out, okay? Step out to the side. Okay, so now I basically put that in her circuit, which means the biocomputer circuit, so it's like on the computer screen, and now any muscle in her body will test weak. See, like this? So I can then find other points that perhaps will test and strengthen that muscle, which I could have kept testing that muscle and had you touch certain points as well, but it makes it easier for the camera to just demonstrate by this. So you touch right here on the right 5, 6. Now, let's test again. It went strong. That's one of the energy switches for the liver to help balance it. So we know we need liver 2. We also need what's called the neurolymphatic point. And there's other switches. Let's have you touch right up here. This is the neurovascular point, and see if that activates it. Hold as I push. Oh, and it likes that too. So what you find out is where the energy is imbalanced, and then what will balance the energy. So now let's check. I'm going to test the liver 2 and see if that strengthens. So you're holding here, right? So I'm going to go down and touch that while I'm testing, and hold. And sure enough, that's strengthened. So now we're going to go ahead and balance that meridian by doing those 3 corrections, and then we can reassess the pain, because when you balance energy, often pain goes away naturally. Pain is just an expression of energy blockage and imbalance. So let's start with having you rub right here, and you're going to start here, and you're going to go all the way out like that. Now, it doesn't matter who rubs the point, but I'm just giving her those. So she's going to work right along here, and that is the neurolymphatic, where the chest meets the rib cage, the breast meets the rib cage. You're going to go right in that line. Is it tender there? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the greater the tenderness, the greater the extent of the blockage. You keep rubbing there, and I'm rubbing the point in the back. That's 5, 6, between the 5th and 6th ribs off the spine. So what I'm now doing is I'm rubbing these points in the back, which are between the ribs 5 and 6, right off the spine, and by doing fairly firm pressure for about 30 seconds. Is there any tenderness back here, Elena?
Yeah, especially on the left side.
Yeah, and especially on the left, because that's the side that she had the blockage. And let me know if it gets better. Now again, even though the muscle was out on the left, the point for the liver in the front is on the right. So is that getting any better back there?
It's still really tender.
Still really tender. Okay, keep breathing.
But it feels good that you're doing
It hurts good, huh?
Yeah, it's nice. And is it getting better now?
Okay, good. So I often go until the tenderness starts going away, or at least up to 60 seconds to 2 minutes max. Mm-hmm. But that's feeling better now?
Yeah.
Great, okay. So that was the neurolymphatics in the back. Okay, now you can come back here. So now she's done the neurolymphatic in the front. I did it in the back. Again, I could have been doing the front ones too. So now what I'm doing is touching real lightly up here. These stimulate blood flow to the liver and the related muscles. Now in this case, these are called neurovascular points. When I did the neurolymphatic points, that stimulates lymph flow both to the muscles associated with the liver, which are pectoralis major sternal in the chest, and in the back, the rhomboids. Okay, and breathing deeply. And I'm just feeling for a light pulse here. Exhale. And when the pulse is synchronized, then I know we've switched on that energy circuit. Good. And now what I can do is stimulate the point, liver 2, and I can even do that just with tapping, massage, or light touch. And if I want, I can even ask her body. So for stimulating liver 2, best to do tapping? No. Best to do light touch? Yes. Best to do massage. So in her case, it just wants light touch. So what I'm going to do is just touch lightly for about 20 to 30 seconds on liver 2. Also, if I breathe deeply while I'm touching the point, that adds energy to the point as well. So what we're doing is we're bringing fire energy that's excess out of circulation sex, and we're bringing it into liver, which is deficient. So we're balancing the two meridians. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to recheck the pectoralis major sternal. So she has the arm in front, rotated inward, the elbow straight, and I'm going to push out like this again, okay? Ready and hold. Very strong. And we have a mode we also show you called the more mode. And when I test again to see if it stays strong, and it does, very strong this time, that is indicating we don't need to do any more. And then we show you if it does need more, what else to check. But in her case, we're good. So now I'm going to check the point here, which was over energy for circulation sex. So again, a strong muscle, hold as I push, and I touch the alarm point that indicates over energy there, and that confirms, yep, we're good there. So I don't need to do the tug on the navel because that was just a shortcut, and then this was being specific to say, that's what we need. Same thing with the head point here. So when I touch the head point, that was the screen that we see which meridian is deficient, and we figured out when it was liver, we went straight to the muscle related to liver and found it was deficient. So the way to think of this is we show you how to find, like in general, and then zoom in and confirm things. So that way you're double checking and sometimes triple checking to make sure you find the right imbalance and get right to it and correct it quickly. That's the beauty of kinesiology, is you're finding with each individual specifically where you need to go to balance the energy, and you could do it very quickly. So what we're going to do now is let's have you touch the back again where you did earlier, right back here, and let's see if it's clear or if we need to do more. Okay, and hold, so we push. Okay, now what I can do is I can check the more mode and see if it wants more, and it does. So it says, yeah, we made improvements, but it's saying we want more. So again, when it switched off, I can now say oric field, and now it wants the oric field. So with this correction, I'm going to test an indicator muscle and find out which layer of her oric field is needing balanced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand right over the area. This is the area right here. And I'm going to keep pushing, 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 and moving out to see what field is where it switches off. Wow. Do you see right out here? I'm about 3 feet out. That's actually in the mental field. Okay, so if I'm here, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm right there. Now if I go up here, she's good, she's good, she's good. And I get right to here, and it goes weak. So that's saying everything else is fine out here in the mental field, but out here, it's showing a weakness. So what I can do then is I can help balance that by bringing energy from other parts of her field to, in a sense, patch a hole in her oric field. What's interesting is I had a woman with chronic hip pain who'd been to many doctors and therapists. Nobody was helping her with her hip pain. And in a similar sense, I found it was in her auric field that I needed to work. And in her case, when I cleared that patch in her auric field, her hip pain totally went away. Just working the energy field. But again, you discern what the body wants, because in some cases, the body might want structural work, it might want nutritional, it might want emotional, or in layers, because we're fixing the priorities. And actually, I'll just see if we've got this cleared now. Okay, so I'm going to go back to that field and test. Hold. There, it's looking good. Okay, so now I want you to touch this area again and see if it's strong. Good. Now I'm going to check again on the more mode to see if it needs more. And this time it is testing strong. So let's just see, is there a change in the pain level?
It already feels better. Like,
yeah?
Actually, I kind of don't feel it.
You kind of don't feel it?
Yeah.
So it's like it went from a 5 to like not at all present?
Like right now, not at all, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you notice as we were working, after we did the first correction, was there a drop, and then was there further drop after the second? Or was there any progression there, a point where you noticed, wow, it's gone?
It's more like I kind of forgot about it, so I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, it's like
just gone, and I didn't even pay attention when.
Yeah.
It's not, when you ask me now, I'm consciously checking,
yeah.
And it's not there.
Well, that's often the case. When pain's gone, people go, oh, I didn't notice. You only notice when the pain's there, and when the pain's not there, you don't notice. So that's good.
Yeah.
Great. So now what we can do is ask the body if further balancing is needed for this area in the future. Hold as I push. It says yes. So another session would be good within 1 week, within 5 days, within 4 days, within 5 days. Now, the reason for that is you said this happened like in your 20s, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
So a long time ago. And many times it's like tuning a guitar. You tune it up and then the body says, well, we've been out for several years now, at least a dozen, right?
Yeah.
About that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So it says, okay, now we need another 5 days. The body is assimilating what we've done today, and then come back and balance again. So you can ask the body, when's the next session to help really get that new pattern cleared?
Well, that would be exciting.
Okay.
To get the pain out.
So
feels really good.
Yeah. Can you make it back in about 5 days?
I'm coming.
Okay, great. So then we'll pick it up from there. But in essence, the body can tell you. Now we can also ask this. Home program is helpful for this. That would be things she can do at home, and it's a yes-no question. So let me just show you this. Body, give me a yes, it's strong. Body, give me a no, and I push, and it goes weak. So we're asking the body, what do we need to do? So I can say things we did. So further work on liver 2 would be good. Great. Now, I use these specific patches that are like acupressure or acupuncture without needles. So I'm going to ask, patching liver 2 would be good? It says yes. Now there's also these little acupuncture pellets that I can put on that. So I'll ask, would that be good? Yes. So I can actually put one of these, it's like a little magnet that can go right on the point. So putting the magnet on would be best. Great, so now we can put that on, and then that way it will tell the body, keep this balance, keep this balance. So these are little, what we call acupellets, that are like magnets that you can put on an acupuncture point. We show you how to use these in the course. And your body's saying it would like this on liver 2. So I can actually apply one, and then that would be something that you can wear. And generally we just keep it on until it falls off. So it might be, you'll notice, oh, by tomorrow it might fall off, and that the body just kind of knows as long as it should stay on there, but it's got a little sticker here that we then put on the point. So what I do is, this is the point right here, which is liver 2, so I'm just putting this right on that spot, and by putting it right there with that sticker, it's going to basically keep balancing her after the session. Now I know I don't need to do this one because when I muscle tested her, hold as I push, her arm stayed strong. And in the beginning, the muscle related to the right side of the body was strong too. So I confirmed that it was the left side that was deficient in energy. So that's why I put the point on the left side. again, in the course, we teach you how to figure all these things out so you know exactly what point, what meridian, what it needs, and what it needs for a home program. So we know she needs the acupressure aid. That's called an acupellet. So we put that on. Let's ask if there's other things. So neurolymphatic would be helpful for the liver, for this balance on home. No. Neurovascular at home for liver. Nope. Okay. Anything else? Yes. Okay, so we can ask other things. Let's see if nutrition would be helpful. Oh, it says nutrition. Now, we also teach you nutrients related to each of the muscles and meridians. The way to remember this is everything's a vibratory frequency. So the meridians are a frequency, the muscles are a frequency. The supplements like vitamins and minerals are a frequency. Sound is a frequency. Color is a frequency. So we get into all these frequencies in the course that relate to energy. So now let's ask, vitamin A would be helpful. Yes. How about vitamin F? No. And then methionine? No. So vitamin A is going to be helpful. Okay? And we show you how you can figure out how much of the vitamin A as well as the correct vitamin A, because there's various sources. And food is also a good source. Interesting, she's wearing orange today because that's a frequency for vitamin A, as we see in carrots and orange type fruits and vegetables. So we can also ask that. Do you ever drink carrot juice or eat carrots?
No.
Okay, well, let's ask you, would you be willing to?
Of course.
Okay, so drinking carrot juice would be helpful for this condition. All right. How about apricots? Do you ever eat apricots?
I do.
Okay, apricots would be helpful for her? No. How about other yellow vegetables like yams? Yes. Okay, and cantaloupe. Great. So that would be good.
Oranges, maybe?
Okay, let's check orange juice. Oh, okay, even orange juice could be good. Yeah. So you see that color can balance you as well. So when we find out where the energy blockage is, how to unblock it, and how to keep it unblocked, the person then can stay healthy. So let's ask if there's anything else with nutrition that needs to be done at home. Ready and hold, and no. So something else with nutrition need to be done? No. Now sometimes that could be diet deletion. We particularly get into that into our biochemical course. That's another module where we go way in depth into the frequency of biochemistry. But in your case, just a little alteration, adding a few foods to the diet are going to be helpful. And wearing the AcuAid. Let's see, is there anything else needed for her home program? Hold. No. Okay, so then it says again, a session in 5 days, which will bring you back and take another approach at it. So at this point, you say you're pain-free, right?
Yeah, right now it feels like there's no pain.
Great.
It's amazing.
Okay, well, there you go. So you can often get people immediately out of pain doing this work by finding exactly where the energy is imbalanced. And remember, pain is an expression of energy imbalance, energy blockage, where a certain area has too much energy. In her case, it was the pericardium, also known as circulation sex meridian, and a deficiency in energy in the liver meridian. So we found the exact points on the body to bring that back into balance. And when energy is balanced, pain goes away naturally. We also worked with the auric field in her case. We show you various ways to work with the auric fields in our course. We also show you how to work with the chakras. She didn't happen to need those, as well as how to work with the Tibetan 8 energy flows. So you learn a lot in this course to know exactly where the energy is blocked, how to unblock it quickly, and bring a person into balance, freedom from pain, and actually also an optimum energy. So not only do the symptoms go away naturally, but they can be at their best level of performance, health, longevity, as well as emotional well-being. So also when you're doing this work, often the person just feels better emotionally. So how do you feel? Like say before you came in and we started working with you, do you notice any shift in your mood or your emotions?
Absolutely, because this has been bugging me and it's kind of been draining my energy, and I feel more positive and happy now.
Oh, good.
I'm excited that pain can actually, I never thought it can go away anymore.
Oh, wow.
I thought it'll be there forever. So
really? That was pretty amazing that we just nailed it. Okay, so there you go. So you get lots of benefits with this work. So if you'd like to learn how you could study in this exciting field, go to energykinesiologycourse.com.